score 40-36. While Judge Barbara Perez has it 39-37. All for the winner by unanimous decision, the crown jewel.
You know it's AB, always balling, always boarding, a lot of bills. You know what's going on, man. You know, shout out to Crown Jewels Boxing, man. You know, my people. You know, they get it in over there, straight up.
Lamar Peterson giving a shout out to CrownJewelBoxing.com.
What's good, YouTube? Crown Jewel from Crown Jewel Boxing, back with a gem. I seen something disturbing online that just had to get my response. Bill Haney being disrespectful to Bill Haney, the dad of Devin Haney, being disrespectful to Calvin Ford, Coach Calvin, the trainer and father figure of Gervonta Tank Davis. And I took exception with this shit that's being said, because sometimes shit just goes too far, right? So he's on there talking about how Calvin Ford just, he tried to keep it classy. Like, look, I ain't got no words for him, because Bill Haney been doing a lot of crazy talking in the media, and he just didn't want to feed into it, talking about how Calvin don't get no money and he don't drive this car, a bunch of clown shit that 50-plus-year-old men shouldn't even be talking about anyway, but he's talking about it. So when they tell Calvin Ford what he's on, he's like, I don't care if he's on, you know what I mean? I don't have no words for this guy. So he goes on to say, you don't have no words for me because my son is going to knock your fighter out, and you don't have no words for me because I said you don't get no money. Now, at the end of the day, since when is the measure of a man, especially a 50-plus-year-old man, what type of man he is, depend on how much money he got? Since when did that start? Like, and this is supposed to be some kind of OG street guy, and you just sound like a clown with the way you acted, and he's supposed to be Muslim. And everything he does goes against everything he supposedly represents. And it's just clown stuff to me. So, this isn't my avenue. But since he's talking this OG stuff all the time, I decided to do a little Google search on him because, it's well storied that he's been in trouble before. So, when he got in trouble in the airport with a fake name, with another gentleman on the fake name, and he did some suspect behavior. But I'm not going to say what it is because that's not my lane. But I'm going to call a guest today, and I'm going to have him speak to somebody who's had, that type of past, unfortunately, and speak to the validity of this dude's credibility, because it just doesn't say OG when I read what I'm reading. You know what I mean? So give me a second. Let me make this phone call and bring in an expert in this field, for lack of a better way of saying it.
Hello?
Mayo, what's good, bro?
Hey, what's good? What's good, Joe?
No, I'm gonna let you know, just so you know, I'm on my podcast right now, and
Okay, I'm listening.
the world's not aware, but I'm aware of your background. We know you're living right, you're doing the right thing now, but you've been a part of some things in the past to where you can speak to what is and what is not acceptable to be done when you're running around calling yourself things like an OG, correct?
Correct. I'm listening.
So you've been in a situation where you've been incarcerated in a case involving other people, right? So you can speak intelligently to what I'm about to ask you about, correct?
Yes, with a conspiracy. I was conspired, yeah.
Yeah, so for y'all that don't know, like I said, this is my bro on the highest level, dealt with a RICO before, so he can speak intelligently to what I'm about to ask him. So, without me even saying no names, there's a boxing trainer who portrays to be this super gangster all the time and talks about his past in the streets and this, that, and the third. Well, I, being the person I am, do a little investigative work. And I find that he caught a case in the airport before, Mayo, where him and his boy got fake IDs, bought plane tickets, and went somewhere to cop, let's just call them 2 chickens. All right?
Okay.
So, both the chickens are in his friend's bag. His bag is empty. Upon arriving at their destination, the airport authorities pull them both to the side and tell them, ask for permission to search their bags. The friend who has the 2 chickens comes right out and says, no, I don't consent to any type of search and seizure of my property.
Right. That's his right.
Okay,
That's right.
well, while that's going on, his partner walks into a room, empties his bag and says, there's my bag right there. You can search it. I ain't got nothing. Knowing the guy he's traveling with has 2 chickens in his bag that belongs to both of them. What would that be, in your opinion?
In my opinion, it's really not an opinion. It's really a fact, though. That's basically dry snitching.
That's dry
I
snitching.
have knowledge of what he had, and I go in the room and tell them they can search, and I empty my pockets. That's basically dry snitching on my homie.
Absolutely. Thank you. That's all. And that's one other thing. y'all heard what my brother said. Now, also on the report, you know they detail everything that happens when they're questioning the individuals, correct? So they put in the questioning that upon questioning him, he started to shake and sweat and stutter. Is that the type of behavior of an OG when being questioned by authorities?
No. He was supposed to stay calm and humble and maintain his innocence.
Thank you, bro. That's all I need. I'm live. I'm going to hit you back when I get off.
All right.
All right, good looking. Y'all heard it there. That's not me. That's someone with a past and that lifestyle that's been indicted as a result of one of the largest RICOs in the town that I come from. And he said blatantly, that's not even dry snitching. Bill Haney, you're nobody's OG. You're a rat. You ratted on your boy and even went as far as to file an appeal to say you should have been released when you emptied your bag and showed that you didn't have nothing, when you knew y'all was together and you knew what was in his bag. Somebody with the type of past you have, I wouldn't expect to ever be throwing darts at a Calvin Ford. I would expect you to humble yourself and fly right and never hang that OG, that gangster flag. Because when you hang it, you invite people to do their due diligence on your past, and your past ain't squeaky clean. That's number one. Number two, you publicly speak about recently converting to Islam. None of what you do when you're disrespecting Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, and their people is indicative of a devout Muslim. I didn't even want to do nothing like this, but it got to stop. Then you on there talking about Devin's going to knock Tank out. Your son has not scored a knockout in 4 years, and none of the people he fought had the chin, power, or credentials or resume of Tank. You got to stop. You got to stop. Your son is an immensely talented young fighter, but he gets hate in the business because of you and your mouth. Fall back. You're not who you say you are. Until next time, keep your hands up, your chin down, and your ass off the floor. Peace.